a lot of people with San Andreas try to bring out, when they're creating the blend, they're trying to bring out that earthy spiciness that San Andreas has. And I think that true San Andreas, believe it or not, has more of a sweetness and kind of a, we'll talk about it, but sweetness and another flavor. And I think here that's what, again, going back to what the idea of the Essence series is, and the fact that we're really doing the blend to enhance what the special parts of the wrapper are. Mm-hmm. I think that's what your dad did here. That for me makes me love this. And I can tell you that I've done this a couple of times with people and I've given it to them and they don't think it's a San Andreas when I give it to them because they're so used to the San Andreas of what we did when La Historia was launched and everybody was going for that peppery, earthy, oomphy. Mm-hmm. And this is almost, in an incredible way, the polar opposite of that. It's a sweeter which we'll get into in a few minutes.
It's oily. The wrapper is so beautiful. And some people describe San Andreas wrappers as toothy. Mm-hmm. What does that mean for a beginner?
So toothy is kind of when you look at the wrapper, and if you look at this one, you know, and unfortunately at my age, I have to take the glasses off to see it. But if you look at this one, it's a little toothy. But toothy is kind of that, it's a little rough. It has all those little, like, people describe it as pimples. But when you feel the wrapper, like when you feel this, it feels more like a smooth piece of leather. When you feel others, it's a little rougher, like a gritty sandpaper almost, which gives it that toothiness. That's what we call toothy. This one isn't. And part of it is because, according to your dad, it's the lot of the farm that he's buying it from, but it's also the process he did to ferment this wrapper, which made it a little more unique.
It smells so good. What do you pick up on there with the aroma?
I get this, you know, it's funny because the aroma for me and then the palate are two different things. I get a nutty sort of aroma off of it. But when you smoke it, you really, for me, I don't get that on the palate. I don't taste, yes, it's definitely there, but it's very subtle at the bottom, a nutty note. You know, it's not a prominent note, but it has this nice nutty, almost little bit of a spice, like a peppery spice.
Dark, yeah, like black pepper. I'm tasting also chocolate, like a dark chocolate with coffee. You know, kind of when you get one of those mochas that they make with a dark chocolate. It's I'll be honest with you, it's one of my favorite cigars. I love La Historia.
Yeah.
But this one, I think it's the combination of that sweetness with the spice.
Yeah.
It's very good together. I mean, there's no better word. It's just really good together.
So I've had it described two different ways. All right. My way of describing it is this is a espresso bean covered in dark chocolate, rolled in sugar, and you get to eat it and chew it and chomp on it. And this is what you get. The thing is, people go, yeah, but there's that pepperiness that's in there. So I've had other people in podcasts that we've done describe it kind of like a Mexican hot chocolate. That's what you're
yeah, maybe that's
which has got that
with
spiciness, but that chocolatiness in there. For my palate, I pick up more of the chocolate, the coffee, and the sweetness, and the pepper is kind of in the middle tier. It's not the prominent notes, but everybody's different, you know, and that's the beauty of cigars. You know, I mean, when I did this on a podcast, you know, one of the people was describing, oh, I taste a lot of leatheriness in it. I taste a lot of, and I'm like, okay, am I smoking the wrong cigar? You know, I was a little confused, but that's what they actually tasted. And I can understand that. You know, I mean, we all, when we eat, when we drink, we all pick up different notes, and it's part of the beauty of the lifestyle that we live in, you know, and that we enjoy, that you get to try these different things and you are going to pick up different aspects of what a cigar is all about.
Yeah. Now, what's different? I think some people may ask when you retrohale. I saw you retrohaling in the beginning. What's different when you retrohale versus when you don't retrohale? What might you pick up on when you're retrohaling? Are there any additional taste flavors or aromas that might be present when you're not retrohaling?
You know,
or is everything more intense?
So the reality is our taste is driven by our smell, and retrohaling is what opens up your palate to taste a cigar, and the tobacco specifically in a cigar deeper, broader, and you get more of the different tastes. Sorry, the way this is said, that come out. When you don't retrohale, it's almost like eating a great dish, but you have a cold and you're all stuffed up and you can't taste it really that well. It just tastes kind of bland. Now, I will tell you that retrohaling, if you don't know how to do it out there, have someone explain it to you how they do it. It is key if you really want to taste the cigar. And even when you do it, you're going to sit there and go, but I don't taste anything different, because it takes time. It's something that has to mature in the process of your smoking experience. It's not overnight. I was smoking almost 10 years before someone actually showed me how to retrohale. And then the moment I retrohaled, it took probably another 2 or 3 years before I could actually literally go, I taste this, rattle the list off. You could pick up a note. Now, what I will tell you, other people have asked me, once you learn how to do it, or even if you don't know how to retrohale, I'm gonna put my cigar down for a second. If you take a mouthful of smoke and blow it out, hold it for a little bit, then blow it out. Take your tongue and rub it kind of back and forth on the roof of your palate, and the roof of your mouth. And the reason for doing that is that helps that when you then relax and you don't smoke, kind of breathe in and breathe out a little bit through your mouth, through your nose, do the combination. That helps you expand your palate some, so you start tasting. And then what I tell a lot of people is, think about what you're feeling and what you're tasting and equate that to something that you would eat. And that's kind of when we talk about spice, when we talk about nut, when we talk about earth, when we talk, people go, well, have you ever eaten dirt? Oh, yeah, as a kid, I probably ate a lot of it, much to my mother's dismay. But earth isn't really described as being earthy. It's kind of it's that flavor that when you're out in a field and it just poured and there's dirt and everything is mixed in the air and you're tasting that, you feel it, that's earth. Spice is spice. There's different kinds of spice. People talk about, bitter on a cigar. Bitterness comes because similar bitters, lemon rind, lime rind, I'm trying to think other things that you eat that might have a bitterness to them. That's where we say bitter. And we don't always necessarily equate it to something. We just say bitter. That's all we say. So, you have to look at it, but I always equate everything back to food, because at the end of the day, most of us eat 3, sometimes 4, sometimes 5 meals or snacks or combinations, sometimes more. So we all know what we like in food, and that's how you relate back. That's what you do.
Okay. Well, this is one of our favorites, so
love this cigar.
We're curious to just find out what you think. So give us your feedback. Let us know. We appreciate all of your comments. Make sure to follow us to find out first about any new videos, and try any Carrillo Maduro. It's a spectacular cigar at a great price.
Very good price.
It's also very, I guess, accessible, right? And something that I think.
And I think what's interesting, and just to add this, and I know we were wrapping up there, but just to add this, I think the whole line, and you're going to see as consumers more stuff coming out within the Essence series. But I think one of the things is not only is it that it's enhancing what the wrapper's all about, but I also believe that what you're going to find is that these cigars tend to be, don't be afraid of them. They're very approachable. They're really blended in a way that almost every consumer can like them. Even if you don't like Maduros, generally speaking, give it a shot. Try it, because it'll surprise you.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.